Blue Lantern, you take a right as you go east.
There we go. Streaming. Click on your phone right now. LVWON.com. You'll see that.
We did that.
Which one's your Henry?
So when you're not here, you want to see the speaker? LVWON.com.
Okay.
It's like one of those plantation. It's not worth losing room for.
Potatoes, that's what you part of your meal?
Nope. For everybody to dig into.
Hi there. Oh!
Hey! Did you bring the deed to the farm?
Yeah.
Figured you were on it.
The funny thing is, I believe it's very, very similar.
So, what did he say? What did they have to have it cleared up?
He said, depending on the evidence, they just need to, like, this is the fact that I think it's in court too is pretty good. And I hope that, yes, it's definitely somebody different. So, I told her, as I said,
Are you on one of the boards or the foundation? Okay, then you do get one. If you can read that and sign it. Sorry. Kathy, you and...
Farms that I haven't, like down in price.
It's not a farm you look at.
No, we haven't been into it. It's gonna be my next stop. Just they're much cheaper down there.
Oh, yeah.
But they're only much less property too. So this will go in 28 years.
How's the meeting the new people? It's almost like you're sitting down here and everybody's sat away from you.
You get a clean plate when you hit the meter.
What are you doing? I have your king facing there.
Somebody has to try.
And then you just have to say yes. So as long as that's green, they'll bring you meat. When you don't want any more meat, you can make it on the other side. Yeah, I'd love some.
One of each as well?
One of each. I answered without even looking at it. For me.
I'll try to be considerate since you guys sat in the bell tower.
No problem.
This is chicken leg or pheasant leg?
Good afternoon, everyone. Afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
If I can get everybody's attention, if everyone will please rise for me. Welcome to the Las Vegas One Rotary Club. I'm very excited to have you all here today. Today is a special day. We do not have a guest speaker. We have the committee members speaking about the club projects. Every quarter, we will have a session where the committee members will stand before the club and talk about the different projects and programs they're working on, keeping the club informed about everything that's going on. So today is a special meeting day. Let's begin the meeting like we always do and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Dr. Mayhana, if you'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing, please. Ron Peasant, if you'll lead us in America the Beautiful.
Okay, oh my golly, I'm usually paid not to sing in public.
I know.
Okay.
Well, don't worry about it in this crowd.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crowned thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
If you will remain standing for one more of our traditions, that is the four-way test, and I will lead us in this. Of the things we think, say, or do, number one,
Is it true?
Number two, is
Is it fair to all concerned?
Number three,
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
and number four.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, everyone. You may be seated and enjoy your lunch. So, this evening is also, I'll wait for you to sit down. It's okay. So this evening is a special evening, as you all know. We have the honor to be able to thank our military service members from Nellis and Preach. We're taking them to the 51s game tonight. The exciting thing, some of you may or may not know, is that tonight's fireworks night. So we get to see the fireworks at the 51s game. I'm a big fireworks fan, obviously, so clearly no one was as impressed as I was, but I'm happy that the fireworks are Thank you, John. I appreciate that. That means we also still have a little bit of time if anyone knows anyone or still wants to donate any tickets or purchase your tickets for $10 so that you can attend the game, because we need as many folks to come to the game and celebrate with our airmen as possible. Make sure you contact Sarah. And we also still have free tickets, so do not forget that Susan and Richard was kind enough that if you have members that you want to bring, or I'm sorry, if you have potential members that you want to bring to the game, it's a great way to get someone to see what's Rotary all about. This is really the best way to show them what Rotary is all about at a Rotary event. It's just the easiest way for them to see what we do, right? So we still have some free tickets. Make sure you contact Richard Reed and let him know, and he will be more than happy to help. Tomorrow, we have a free training at the Whitney Library. Thank you very much, Mr. Hesden. The library system is very kind and generous to us to give us training space. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., right, at the Whitney Library, Rotary, our district, our zone actually, will be here to, is it district? Okay, our district will be here to train about Rotary, and I believe the topic is going to cover membership, right? But there'll be official Rotary training, and it is free. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. You can go on DACDB and register. Right? I'm going to say this unofficially, but I think if you show up, you can probably get into the class. They'll sign your name right on the register because there's nothing to pay, right? But the best way is to go into DACDB and register. And if anybody has any questions about how to get on DACDB, you're more than welcome to contact me directly, or Richard, or Sarah, or Jennifer, or any of the officers of the club, and we'll be more than happy to help you go on DACDB and show you how to register. I want to give, if I can get everyone's attention, because this is very important, I want to give a congratulations to John Chamella. John is going to be our president nominee 2018-2019. Congratulations, John.
Thanks,
We're
Nathan.
looking forward to passing the mantle in a couple years. So.
All right.
And then again today, from a presentation standpoint, we won't have a speaker. We're going to have our committee members come up and speak about the projects and programs they're working on. The last item I want to cover is next week's meeting is going to be a training meeting, and that meeting is going to be a very important meeting. So make sure you share with everyone. Next Friday evening, we are going to ask you to bring either your laptop or your tablet or your smartphone or whatever it is you go to the internet with the most. And we are going to walk through our social media platforms, how to get on them, where they're at, encourage everyone at that point in time. By encourage, I mean we're going to lock the doors and keep you here until you press the like button and the follow button, because LinkedIn will be on there as well. We're also going to cover our Rotary website, all the information that's on it, how you go on and build out your profile, all the different locations on the website where the bulletin is, where the information is, where everything is. And then we're also going to cover the DACDB website, and if time permits, we'll cover the My Rotary site. Right? So that's a lot to cover in one fell swoop. Don't think this will be the only time we'll do this. We'll schedule more follow-up classes for training so everyone fully understands how to go on to all the sites and how to navigate and manage all their information. At the meeting next Friday, at conclusion, I'll take a show of hands as to when you think the best time for a follow-up. I'm figuring within 2 to 3 weeks, right? Because we don't want to just have it back to back to back. But we'll do this at least a good 3 or 4 times, so everyone will get an opportunity to get really comfortable with understanding where all the sites are, where all the information is, where they can go. With DACDB, please understand all the district information is in DACDB. All the Rotary International information is in Rotary.org, so you don't have to worry about does the club put out or does the club tell you a lot of the things that are going on. Once you become self-sufficient, you can go into DACDB, you can find all the other clubs within the 65 clubs in the district, and you can know when they meet and where they meet and what projects they're running and what things they're doing, and you can start participating in those things at your will and at your leisure, right? So it's extremely important that you bring either your laptop, your tablet, your smartphone, whatever you're most comfortable with, whatever you use the most, and we will go through the process and we'll have everything up on the screen and we'll take care of all of that. I want to give everyone a little bit of time for fellowship and lunch, and then we'll start the committee members up in spot in front of me. It's 12:08. We'll start the committee members up at 12:15. So that gives us about 7 minutes to enjoy lunch and have a little bit of fellowship with one another.
I'd like my new shirt.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Michael, should you have for the $20?
Yeah. No, no.
Oh.
There. My father's there. Right now. My father's
From
there.
Alvin.
What? Nice.
Yeah. Very nice. Very comfortable.
So you guys are both going to the 51 game, right? I think it's been 4 years. The very first time they opened up. 93, when I the last time I played. On this particular day. I went once, and that was about it.
So the 7th of October is the district governor's visit, the district governor's and then the 16th of September we have a speaker in, but let me call to confirm that. So I'll make sure I confirm that speaker, and if not, then we'll put it on the 16th, okay? Okay, so are you going to be here? So then you're going to have to teach her. He's going to walk out of here next week. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, the air conditioner works in there so much better. What's that?
You are on my list of people to call today.
Is that a good list or bad?
I don't know. And I'm not sure if you're going to be a client or you're going to refer me to somebody, but Claire and I are in the process of grabbing a loan, a home equity loan. Okay. And we both went in, we ran our credit, and I've been monitoring my credit pretty closely for like the last couple of months, because we knew this was coming up. All of a sudden we go, yep, run it, we're both, in the mid 700s, and they come back and they go, you have a bankruptcy. And I'm like, I remember this. So I have to go, I go and I pay for my credit report. Sure enough, there's some guy named John Zablocki, who lives in Plano, Illinois. When I run my credit, it comes back in this guy's name. And there's a bankruptcy from 2010. So I call the bank of Social Security. One digit off.
701.
Mine ends in 3057, his ends in 3051. So they probably went like one. So my question, so I've got credit people that are on, and I've sent the letter in, I called the bankruptcy court, I got the record, I showed the different social security number, I contacted Experian, who seems to be the only one who picked up on it. But my question is, if that interferes with this thing we're doing, do I have damages? You can't sue a credit agency for telling a creditor that I have a bankruptcy that I never filed for?
It's an administrative error.
If you do a bunch of work for me, and I send a check to somebody else, and they cash it, do you have damages against me? That's an administrative error. Check written in the same name? No, this guy doesn't have my name. No, different name.
As long as they can show the good faith and due diligence and follow their proper protocols.
I would say
That's a lawyer question.
I would say it's negligent that you put it on my credit report when it had a different social and a different name.
Start that bottom to line. Love it.
Would you like transport for life from his own?
I would.
As long as they're following their written protocols, the written rules.
Electronic copies?
All right. Here's a long shot.
It's a lawyer question, but that's usually what gets you.
What kind of lawyer? Who's the best business lawyer? About a couple months ago, you and I were talking about an account I have.
I have a guy in California that I use.
The guy you said the house in my
No, you remember the situation a couple months ago I was telling you about? We have a contract signed to do multiple events.
All right, if I can get everybody's attention, we're going to start with our committee members coming up. What I'd like to do is, I'll start with Gloria Gorland, right? And then we'll just go down the list, and Gloria, you just simply pass it off to the next committee member. We don't need to officially announce each and every one. Once you're complete with yours, just hand them. Well, I don't think we even need the clicker unless you got a slideshow to show.
No, just me.
Just you. All right, everyone. So if we can give Gloria your attention, and then Eva, you and Deb are next. And then Donna, you'll be after that. So forth and so on. Then follow down the list.
Hi, for those who may not know, my name is Gloria Gorland, and I am doing the club bulletin. I've got a little bit of experience doing this. I did it for over 7 years in the club that I came from, and that was an 8-page edition that was published, both electronically and on paper. My feeling is the importance of the bulletin is to, in a very short space, because I'm limited to 1 page, give our members an idea of what is either going on or what was happening at the last meeting. And I think that's especially important for those who have not been able to attend. Give them a feeling of what's going on and let them feel like they can be part of it. At this point, you can find it on the website. If you go to the club website, there's an orange banner on the top, and it's not there, it's just above it. It says bulletin. It's not in that orange banner, but it's there. If you click on that, you'll see I've done 3 so far, and all 3 are there by dates. What I need from everybody is, if you're doing something, if you're planning something, if you scheduled something, please send me the information. The best way for me to do this job is to have as much information as I have so I can process it, assess it, and get what is absolutely really important and relevant in that tiny little space. But I can't do that if I don't have the information. So I really need everybody, if you're involved in anything Rotary, let me know about it. Even upcoming dates, whatever it is, let me know so that I can make that newsletter working at its prime. And that's about it.
Good morning, still trying to swallow my meat here. Okay, my name is Eva Sigari, and I'm on the Community Service Committee. And so I've got a handful of things that I wanted to present and make sure that everybody's aligned to it. And anything else that anybody may think of, please reach out to me. But these are some ideas, but I'll give you some existing things that are going right now with Nathan working with CenturyLink. There's actually where they're committed to going to the rescue mission, and so what we're going to do is donate our physical time there, and so they need about 8 or 10 volunteers. And actually, it's actually worthy to go to because I've done it before with another group. And these people that come in at the food line, they're very appreciative and very grateful. And if you don't come in there with a smile, your heart will smile when you leave. So that's something to consider if anybody's interested in volunteering. And I think the first date is Tuesday, September 13th. And I think, Nathan, you're going to confirm the other date, Tuesday, August 23rd, right? Well, actually, August 23rd is coming up very soon for a rescue mission.
Okay.
And then the other one is September 13th. And this will be like a dinner service run from from 6:30 to 7, but we have to be there at 6 o'clock and get brief and ready for the food line. The next one we're looking at is what we call fostering futures. I used to be a CASA, and I don't know if anybody understand about CASA. It's a court-appointed special advocate for abused and neglected children in the family court system. And so, having doing that for a couple years, there's actually an age group from age like 18 to 23 that age out, and a lot of them have a difficulty adjusting into the community because they've been in and out of foster care, and they've never really had any kind of a consistent role model as they're growing up. And so this group here is like from age 18 to 23, and there's throughout the city, they've aged out, but they're placed in a home. And so that might be something that we might want to consider in terms of mentoring some of these young adults. There's another age group that's it's another subsidiary of the CASA Foundation, which this group is age 14 to 18. And what this group does, these young kids that are still in foster care, but they're preparing them in terms of setting those goals as they start to age out. And then also they have another group that comes in and teaches them the life skills. So we can also be a part of that if we want, in terms of any kind of mentor. The only thing is that they're requiring us to do a background check and also filling out a profile sheet so that we can match with that young adult. So that's an option. You know, I know that we all have to vote on that, and that's fine, but I just thought I'd throw that out there, that because we are leaders in the community and pillars of the community, might be an opportunity for us to step up and really show them what what a leader is and how they can be a leader as well in their lives. The other one is the Roanoke Elementary School. I know that we had talked about adopting them. I don't think it's been finalized yet. Has it been finalized yet, Nathan?
The vote will go out this evening.
Yeah, so we'll find out for that. And then what I've done a little bit of research, just the general population for those kids are 88.8% Hispanic. So obviously we'll need a couple of bilingual people. But in any event, so those are the major projects that we're working on. Like I said, we still have to vote on some of the other things that I presented. So, but if anybody else has anything else that they're really passionate about and want to share and get us involved, please, it's like the purpose of this is to really get our members engaged and participating in what we're doing, and as well as really select a particular project that we can say this is our signature project long-term wise. And so that's about it.
Hi everybody, everyone enjoying their lunch, I hope? Yes. Do you guys need more meat? We'll send the meat parade around some more if you want. I'm Donna DeLuca, and I'm co-chairing the fundraising committee with Deborah Whitaker. Unfortunately, she was unable to attend today. So what we're looking at doing is finding different ways that we can fundraise to fill the coffers, I guess, so that we can start finding out who to actually give the money to. So the ways that we need to fundraise are locally for our Rotary Club. We also need to raise money for district. There's Club, Rotary International, District, and Rotary International. So it's 3 different levels of fundraising. So any ideas that any of you have for fundraising, and that could be volunteering time. Someone had mentioned volunteering to serve drinks, to have a percentage of it go back to the club is good. So any ideas that you have at all for fundraising, we would love to hear about them. You can send us an email. My email address is on the site. I'm not sure about Deborah's. But just send us all the ideas you have, and we will go ahead and start sending them around and see what would be best suitable for our club.
And because Donna was kind enough to do this, we just kind of threw her into the fire, right? Never gave her a chance to even join the frying pan, just right into the fire. We're going to talk about the pledge sheet. So everyone, before you leave, sitting at the back desk, there'll be a pledge sheet that you can pick up. The pledge sheet is very simple. When you look at the pledge sheet, it's a way in which to set up your credit card and have your dues paid. But also below it talks about charitable giving, right? And so we talk about the different foundations, and there's suggestions on here, but remember, these are suggestions. You can give less or you can give more. It really depends on what you want to do, right? Or you can give nothing at all, right? So obviously if you can give less or you can give more, you can give nothing. These are all suggestions, right? But what it tells you is what the annual program fund covers. And the annual program fund covers things like community service grants and Rotaract and Interact, RILA and TLC, the four-way speech contest, the Dan Stover music contest, the Hensel essay. So there are a variety of different things that are Rotary established programs that this will cover, right? And as we do our training next week, and you get an opportunity to learn how to get into DACDB, how to get into Rotary.org, how to really go through those sites, you'll be able to look up these programs and really understand what they are. Our permanent fund talks about you can contribute cash and securities, real estate. You can do deferred gifts such as bequests, life insurance policies, major gift pledges. These are different ways in which you can donate to the permanent fund, right? And then also we have Rotary International Fund, right? And the Rotary International Fund is exactly what it sounds like, Rotary International. This is the foundation for Rotary International. You're donating to their funds. And they have two, which is the Paul Harris Fellowship. And when we go through training, I'll talk about what a Paul Harris Fellow is so that we understand exactly what that is. But local and international projects are done through the funds in the Paul Harris Fellowship. And all of this is on the form. So if you see me reading it, I'm doing that on purpose so you know. You don't have to memorize this information I'm sharing with you. Just pick up one of these forms before you leave, right? But it's district designated funds, the matching grants, the international scholarships, the youth exchange. And then of course there's Polio Plus, and as you all know, for many, many years, Rotary has hung its hat on taking on polio and has almost eradicated polio, which is one of the reasons why the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation created a relationship with Rotary International, because of the phenomenal work they did with polio, as well as a lot of the other programs since polio, right? So this is a very important form. This is the pledge form. It's for the club as well as Rotary as a whole. So it's super important, right? This is the easiest way that all of us can give right to the foundation and right to funding our program. So I didn't want to upstage you, but I wanted to make sure.
I think we're good.
I wanted to make sure we didn't miss this.
Absolutely.
And then of course I wanted to save a good block of time for the man of the hour, because the most important committee in my mind is the membership committee. Because the way I feel about this is when you have an organization, right, members drive the organization. That's the most important thing. For organizations, members are what corporations, revenues are to corporations, right? Corporations survive on revenues, organizations survive on members. Without members, organizations cannot survive. So this is a very, very important committee, and I want to give John plenty of time to come up and talk about the membership committee.
How much time should I fill?
You can take as much time as you need.
We're all good. We're all good. So thank you, everybody. My name is John. I'm membership chair, and something I always wanted to say: the state of our union is strong. So I can still remember back when we used to meet out there at the bar, and there was, Bill was there, and maybe 10 people were there. And the first time Richard brought me in, he said, "Hey, listen, let's do your little pad thing." And we invited people to this really bizarre thing. Pull out your phones and put them on this pad, and we're all going to invite all of our friends from Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. How many people here remember? How many people are here remember doing that, right? So one of the things that's unique about our club, and one of the reasons that our club is so strong, is because membership isn't something that's compartmentalized. It's off, 4 people are on membership committee, and those 4 people are responsible for growing the club. What our club does is each and every member takes personal responsibility to sponsor in new members. And many of us have done that. In fact, if you look at our 135 or whatever are in there, I'll bet you 20 or so people are responsible for bringing people in. And that's one of the things that we want to continue to do. The pad thing that we did, you may remember every month or so, Richard or something will tell me to stand up, and that once we were texting it. One of the ideas that we had that I'd like to put before the group is the pad that we have for our club. It's like a counter mat. Like you walk into an AutoZone, you see those things on the counter that have like shock absorbers on it. So we have one for our club, but it's a digital mat. And what that means is if you put your phone on it, it's going to pull up a website. And the website is a mobile website that talks about our club. And then you can, and it also says I'm a charter member of the world's largest Rotary Club, and I invite all my friends on social media to do the same. So you can hit share, and you can pass that information on to your 300 or 500 or 1,000 friends, depending on how many friends you have on social network, and invite them to join the club. Of course, they're going to be vetted and so forth, but we want as many people, we want the friends, even our digital friends, to know about who we are and to at least be invited to explore who we are, and then of course we're going to explore who they are before we let them into the club. I'm saying that directly to Bill because I know he doesn't want us just inviting the whole baseball team, the whole baseball game tomorrow. So one of the things that we can do is we can provide your respective businesses with that same exact pad. So the idea would be if you own a law firm, you could have a pad that has your law firm's information, and if you wanted to attract more clients to your law firm, you could invite a current client to set their phone on the pad and invite their friend and tell all their friends that you're the best law firm in Vegas and I'm using this firm and I recommend the same, and that could draw in other people. But the idea is, and the clever twist is, we would give it to you instead of charge you for it, and we would put at the top, proud member of the Las Vegas WON Rotary Club. And it wouldn't cost you anything. It's going to be underwritten by sponsors, or we're just going to eat those costs. But the idea is that when you walk into the office space of a member of our club, not only will they be wearing the Rotary pin, which identifies themselves as a Rotarian, they might just have one of those counter mats very tastefully placed on their counter, also identifying themselves as a member of the Las Vegas WON Rotary Club, and that same pad can be used by that business to grow their own client base, or to, you know, invite more people to an event, or to pass some message on social networks. So that's kind of the flavor of the day. We're changing this thing always, but the one bond that stays consistent is I'm not going to own the membership numbers. I'm not even going to take credit for the membership numbers. The membership and the growth of this club belongs to you. What I will own is to be way outside the box with extremely innovative and extremely powerful tools that we can all leverage to help bring new members into our club so that we can grow at a consistent level. But right now, with our numbers, I mean, because of we're 130 people are all on our marketing staff. If 130 people go and get one new member, we're going to have 260, just like that. And I know I'm going to bring in 5 more in the next month. I just know it. Everybody I meet, I tell them who I am, I tell them what we do, and they when they hear our story, they get engaged. And then next thing I do is I'm like, why don't you come out for one of our lunches or one of our dinners? They come out. If the club likes them, we hand them a membership app, and another member is lined up on the on-deck circle. So we want everybody to do this. This is just another offering out to the team. So if anybody wants one of those pads, pull me aside after the meeting. We'll get you one. It won't cost you a dime. Are there any questions about membership?
Not a question, but I got a comment when I was attending this week. There is some interest in Rotary up around Aliante and no club up there so far, so maybe that'd be a good place for us to be mining for members, or
Mining for members in another club?
mining for members for our
There's
club.
no club there.
There's no club there.
Oh, got it. Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, one of the nice things about this is, and by the way, Richard and I hatched up this idea. So the idea is it doesn't even have to be our businesses. If you know 5 businesses that have a lot of customers in Aliante, we'll bring the Las Vegas WON Rotary Club digital pads to those businesses, gift it to them, say use this to get more customers. And suddenly, the first question they're going to ask is, what's the Las Vegas WON Rotary Club? We'll say we're the largest charter in the world. You don't even have to live in Vegas to be a member. The membership fees are affordable. We have the 5 pillars that makes us different than anybody else. Come on, check us out. It's kind of a talk track that I give people in an elevator. And so, if you know some businesses in Aliante and you want to mine that area, let's just give some of our Rotary Club pads to those businesses and see what turns up. Any question about the pads? Wait, Nathan asked me to fill more time. I'm gonna need
No,
some
you don't have to
questions.
so much. I'm just taking as much time as you need to present. There's other
Yeah.
chairs behind you.
Got it. And there's meat on my plate, so I'm good if everybody else is good.
No, absolutely.
Thanks for, go ahead.
What is the data attrition rate? Are you dumping the data, holding the data, all the information? Where's it
Yeah.
going? A lot of people ask that now. It's very-
Yeah, we're actually not, there really is no data, but that's a great question because there will be. So the way the pad works is when you set the pad on, all it does is opens your browser and takes you to a website. No data yet, you're just visiting the website. If you share, what you're sharing is a link to that website. So again, no data was shared. However, there is a new feature in this thing that you can set up in the background that says, I want the people that scan, because there's usually an incentive. Like if you were I don't know, an auto parts store, you might have the pad say, scan and share for $10 off on your oil change. So I have an incentive to do it, and so it's a this for that. I got $10 off on the auto change, but you, Mr. Auto Parts Store, you just got your message put in front of all my personal friends that I've accumulated over the last several years. So I lost my train of thought. What was the question? I just can't get my mind.
Data mining. Where's it go?
Oh yeah, the data mining. So there's now a button on the bottom that you can make it so that the first time they do it, in order to get the incentive, instead of sharing, they hit register now. And what register now is just going to pop up a screen saying your name, your phone, your email, and then it's going to pop an email out to your email, pop a number out to your phone, ask you in the email to pop the number from your phone into your email and hit submit. And once we get that submit back, we've just verified your email and your phone number, and that information will be stored in the Las Vegas Rotary Club database. And so we could email blast or text blast those people at our leisure. So with regards to that, but that's a feature we haven't even seen yet. It actually just got rolled out this week. But yeah, we want to start accumulating prospects and actually do a formal marketing campaign to reach out to people, let them know about our events that are coming up, let them know about membership drives, let them know about whatever we're doing. We can do that. We're all good? All right. I guess it's
Ron and Andrew, I
Ron.
think, next, right?
Ron.
Well, I'm going to talk to the Finance Committee first. I got an email from someone in a sultan of somebody or someplace. I'm going to have millions of dollars. I just gave him my account number, so as soon as I have that, this club will be rich. Program Committee. This is my esteemed co-chair, Andrew, and basically what Program Committee does is the evenings that we meet and the Fridays that we meet for lunch, we try to bring in someone who will give us all a little bit of a perspective, a view on the community, will help us educate ourselves about what we might be doing better, what we might be doing differently in the community, and how we can have an impact on those around us. Truly service above self. The challenges that we face in getting people to come and speak to our group is that it's Friday evening. And on average, for every 4 people I ask for one evening, I get 3 refusals. So this is where you can help. And by the way, if you come to me and say, Ron, Kathy suggested 2 people, or 3, I think it was 3. And if you don't see me write it down, do as my admin does and slap me and say, write it down, Ron. Because if I don't write it down, it's going to be lost. So in my email, I get around 300 per day. Along with that wonderful one I did happen on today about all that money. But in any case, Andrew, did you want to?
I just want to let everybody know I'm Andrew Dion, and I'm new to the club and new to this committee, but I'm more than willing to jump in and speak to people that you're thinking of as presenters. So if you have someone that you would like us to approach, please let us know. I'm looking forward to learning a lot from Ron, but I'm also looking forward to finding those hidden gems that are out there in your networks, because I know everybody in here is a powerful person that has a lot of folks around them that could bring something to the table. Presentations that are concerning a lot of times for folks are charity presentations. I'm already working with a couple of folks that will come in and give us the information on their charity, but we very heavily prep them to say, this isn't a charitable ask presentation. This is a what we do presentation. So we want to know what these charities out there in our community are doing. So if there is an opportunity to work with them, we can create that opportunity or facilitate that opportunity. But it's also a point in time where they're not coming to ask us to develop a funding program or actually generate funds for their charity. So that's one of the things I constantly hear from charity members when they come up and they say, I want to talk about my thing. That's great, we want to hear about your thing, we want to support you, but this isn't a place for you to ask for money. So if we preface that conversation, awareness is mostly what we get out of those folks.
The other thing too is we also have to make them aware that all of the presentations are recorded. So if they are going to tell us that they will not allow us to post the recording of their presentation online, then we have to find somebody else to speak. Our very first presentation was from someone who I didn't know that I had to tell him that, and he refused to let us record it because it's copyrighted material, and it was great. It was a great presentation, but again, we have to make sure that that communication is clear.
We need to set up somewhere a calendar. For example, I keep calling Nathan. I've already booked the next 2 lunches with speakers, and like we have a conflict right now on the speakers. So we need to know what dates are open so that we can move faster. And then now that you 2 are the chairman, we need an ability to reach you and discuss what we're doing.
So what we'll do is we'll make our email addresses and contact information available to everyone, and especially we'll sit down with you after the lunch, sir, and make sure that you have everything. But there is already a calendar. It's just not awareness on what's on that calendar yet. So we're going to that point. It's unfair for us to put everything on Nathan and say that it's his responsibility. So please allow us to grow and develop that program so that we can have more awareness as a chapter as well.
So just as a point of clarification, right, so it's extremely important everyone understands, and just like Bill said, right, Bill will call me, right, he'll suggest a speaker, he'll ask me about open dates, right, and we'll determine if that's the best speaker for the club. Now that the committee has formed, right, that's exactly what needs to happen with the committee, right, are to contact the committee and make a suggestion to the committee. They'll know which dates are available, but the committee is responsible for selecting the speakers. So make sure, please make sure that you do not go out and promise someone the ability to speak for the club, right? We're encouraging you to help the committee by finding quality speakers, but you have to work with the committee. But it is the committee's job to make sure that the people we present at the club, or the speakers that we present at the club, that's the job that the committee has taken on, right? So just simply ask the people, refer them over to the committee, and the committee will follow up with them or make the connection so that the committee can follow up with them. But you want to work through the committee has to bless and approve the speaker, and they also run and manage the calendar. Up to this point, as we've been forming the committees, right, things have been coming back to the officers of the club, and we've been running it relatively ad hoc. The importance of these committees as they continue to form and grow is we begin to allow the committees to do the jobs that they're empowered to do.
And if someone wants to join the committee, we certainly want to have you and welcome your support, because not everybody can do everything all the time. And I don't think Ron or I are people that want to be in charge of everything. We've got a lot of stuff going on, so especially Ron. I'm not nearly as important, but...
Oh, come on. Come on.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Chairperson, President.
I'm full. And I planned this fullness well in advance. Didn't have much of a dinner, no breakfast. So when I got here, I was prime and ready. If people knew that joining our club, just show up to the second Friday is worth the ticket price to be a member, they would all be beating the path to the door. So the Public Image Committee, we're a new club, and how we set sort of the foundation, we talked about this before, really kind of sets our club in the minds of the initial members and the ones that we'll get in the future, in the minds of and in the vision that other clubs will have towards us. This is where we set it. This is where we build that foundation. So we identified, and I have Ben now as one of my new committee members. So we've identified three, it says Public Image Committee, we identified three types of public. One is the public of ourselves, just the 130 some and growing. One is other Rotarians that are in the area or in our district and beyond. And one is, they're not Rotarians, they're not members of our club, but we're gonna come across their path, and maybe on some cases, we're gonna ask them to consider joining. So that's how we look at it. The way that I think we can really set ourselves apart is to have a consistent message, a message that we all agree on, and we kind of have these talking points. So if we have that opportunity real quick to present who we are and what we do, everyone speaks from the, you know, so to speak, the same page. And John has his little speech down to a science, but I think what we can do is all of us come up with something, run it through a couple of vettings, and then say, okay, yeah, this is how we're gonna present what our club is and what it does. So it's consistent, and no matter who you speak to in our club, the message is the same. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So one thing we're going to do is circulate and ask for input. Anyone who wants to say what this club means to you, in a sentence, in a paragraph, in a page, whatever, and what you want it to be, how you want this thing to turn out. And we can discuss those things, and maybe in the next 30, 60 days, we come up with that consistent message that we put out there. Our club is different because we have a lot of technology. That's what we talk about. That's what we are constantly professing. So we need to stay on that topic and on that message, and make it so that people who are maybe not able to be here all the time, or maybe they're not even in this state or country, to technically attend and feel a part of it. So that's the public message for our members who are not local. So we have to have a public message for them, a way to have a public image that keeps them engaged, keeps them as a member of our club, and they feel like, you know what, I'm gaining. This is somehow benefiting me in one path of my, whatever it might be, my giving, my wanting to be a good member of society, whatever it is, that they feel like, okay, this club is helping me achieve that goal. It's getting me closer to where I want to be as a good person. So one of the things that, you know, we're in Vegas, so you know, we don't want to forget that. We want to own it that we're in Vegas. All the people on the planet know the name Vegas. They call it Las Vegas, right? Las Vegas. They don't call it Vegas. All the people on the outside and other countries and everybody else looks up to Vegas like, man, this is the cool place. Like if I had a dream vacation to take, I would go to Vegas. Well, let's make Las Vegas one. Let's make sure that Las Vegas stays as part of who we are and what we do and what we represent. So some of you may know that for the Las Vegas Council of Boy Scouts, which covers 3 of the top in area coverage, 3 of the top counties in the United States, San Bernardino County, Nye County, and Mojave County. Our council covers all of that area. We set up an aviation post. The aviation post is to give, thank you, David, for making that connection some months ago. The aviation post gives opportunity to the youth in this region to learn about aviation, aerospace, drones, all the commercial applications, 3D printing, ground robots, all the technology, all the future stuff. I bring that up because I just want you to have some level understanding of what the aviation post is. And now I'm going to give you something. This is a poker chip that we have created to promote our aviation post. And once I pass this out and all of you get to see what it is, I'll tell you what we can do for our club. You're welcome. So, a simple poker chip, you're welcome, that tells a little bit about what we do, but it has our website on it. I thought it was just for the rest of the time. I'm just kidding. You're not going to get me off the stage. Okay, so what I propose is that maybe what we can do is have a poker chip for the Las Vegas One Rotary Club. So imagine when we have the opportunity to meet somebody, we hand them a poker chip. Has our website. It's something that's different. It's certainly Vegas. And it's kind of cool. And what we do on the back side of it is put John's QR code.
An NFC inside it.
Pretty, doable, right?
Very doable.
The other thing we can do with this poker chip is for the, where's the fundraising? Fundraising committee. Let's say each poker chip we buy in volume cost us X, and any member can purchase it 2 times X. So every time you give one out, it's actually a little fundraising thing that's going on as well. So these are the kinds of things that we can do that are different, that stay on task. Technology, so we got stuff blended into it that actually does what we want it to do, and people aren't going to get rid of this thing. They're going to keep it. It's not like a business card. It's not something that they're just going to toss. It's a cool little thing. So this is what the idea is. If everyone would, if you think of anything that you want our public image to look like, any ideas, any thoughts, any little trinkets like this, share it with us, and we'd love to see how we can make some things happen that really forever stand the test of time. Maybe each year we have a different one, so people want to collect them. Maybe there's just all kinds of cool stuff that we can do with this type of stuff. Does anyone have any questions? No questions.
I have a statement. That is an unbelievably cool idea.
Thank you, John.
Really clever.
You did a fantastic job. Anybody have any questions? Debbie, front and center, sir, it's all yours. Yes, sir. You are the Rotary International Alumni.
International Alumni.
So just explain to everybody what you'll be doing.
Right now, currently, we're working on a list of all alumni here in Las Vegas, and I'll be calling, try to get their interest level, and have them join the club and get involved with different things. But that's pretty much it until we.
What is alumni?
So if anyone knows someone who was a former Rotarian prior to, whether it be here in Las Vegas or anywhere, right, that makes them Rotary alumni, right?
Got it.
So Ebby would be the one who you'd want to tell. He'd give them a call, tell them all about our club, and get them interested in coming back into Rotary and getting back into Rotary through our club. Thank you, Ebby. And then of course next up is our wonderful past president, Richard Reed. I won't make him walk all the way down because I know he's hurting. And of course myself and the Rotary One Club committee. So the Rotary One Club, and in interest of fairness, we are all Rotary One Club members because we started Rotary and we're all learning together as we go. But as we bring new members into our club, the Rotary One Club is where we will bring in a new member and we will give them the opportunity to learn and understand some things about Rotary, get them up to speed about Rotary. So next week when we're doing the training, all of us together learning about DACDB and My Rotary and how to get to the website, social media links, what's a Paul Harris Fellow, all those things. Ultimately, as our club gets going well enough, we will all be seasoned veterans, and those new people who come in will look at all of us and go, geez, you guys know everything, right? And so they'll have a place, the Rotary One Club, to go, and they'll be able to spend some time through there, and we will have a format structure so they can come through there and leave out with the information. And of course, there'll be opportunities for existing members to connect with new members, kind of like a buddy partnership or a mentor-mentee, right? Whatever you're most comfortable with. I don't want to force a terminology on it because what everybody wants, they want, right? Some people feel like they don't need to be mentored. Some people feel like they just want a friend to talk to, right? So that's what the Rotary One Club is all about. Senior, have I forgotten anything, missed anything?
Well, basically, Rotary is 111 years of knowledge, okay, and it's very hard for any one person to obviously carry all that. So what this particular separate website is nothing more than a tool for learning. You can go in and you can read about it, you can find out as much stuff as you want, or as little as you want, or as in depth as you want. So there'll be a lot more information that you're ever going to really need to use, but if you want to know more about Rotary, it's going to be there. And the idea of the mentorship, there will be a form where you can fill out, If you need somebody to help you get up to speed, or if you want to learn more about a specific subject, you fill out a simple form, and somebody will contact you and fill in the blanks. So it's not as much of a mandatory thing as it's an elective idea and a place to go get a lot of answers without having to take up time during the meeting.
Any questions?
Any questions on any of that?
All right, well, with that, our very last committee chair is Dr. Mahan, right? And Dr. Mahan, you get to close out the event. You know what they say, the people they hear last is the one they remember first.
Actually, last but not least, I'm youth services, and the club cannot really afford at this point to send somebody to Ryland, although soon, I hope, and some of the other wonderful Rotary Youth places. But we are starting with a program at C.C. Rano School, which we need to vote on, and it's a school of 870 students. 91% are free and reduced school lunch, so it's a pretty poor neighborhood, and it's near Washington and Eastern, so it's not too far from here, on a street called Lena. It's a really cool school, and the principal wants to emulate what Katie Decker has done in terms of dragging a school from like 2 or 3 star status all the way up to National Magnet School of the Year for the country. And because we have a fair amount of experience working with that sort of thing, we got united with this school, and I think it should be a lot of fun. We can do a Kidderack Club there, which is like a Rotary Club for, you know, little kids in grade school, to teach them about leadership, and we can do buddies with books there and help the kids in 2nd grade who are having trouble learning to read. It's free, but we do have to have a sheriff's clearance, whatever thingy, you know, the background check, that's what they call it. And I did that last year at Beckley. It's a lot of fun. And we will also be painting, you know, murals at the school of the outlines of different states on the sidewalk and stuff like that, and metric compared to English measurements and all sorts of cool stuff. Should be fun. And and we're doing a United Way project September 30th at Bracken School, because Rana wasn't on the list yet with United Way, and that will be refurbishing their science lab and touching up some of their paint and helping with some of their gardening projects and stuff like that. And it's really fun to paint Roman numerals on hopscotch boards and stuff like that. So that's the kind of thing we'll be doing. And if anyone wants to help on September 30th, that's available. And then once the baseball thing's over, I want Eva and me to go over to 3 Square because they would like us to volunteer there too, to help put the food packages together for the kids, their backpacks for weekends and stuff. And that's about all I had to report on so far. And I'm looking into Ann Lynch School too for the future.
Any questions?
Any questions at all? Okay.
All right, so as you can see, right, we have quite a few things that, you know, we need to undertake and get going. There's a lot to run in a Rotary Club, right? A lot of you who are new to Rotary, you know, I don't want you to think that Rotary was just, we meet on Friday nights, we have a speaker, someone either educates us about Las Vegas or entertains us about what's going on in our communities, and then we have a chance to network, and there's a little fellowship, and then it kind of ends there, right? Really the crux of what we do are these committees here, and these committees are extremely important. Everything from the membership, which keeps our club strong, to the different youth services, the image that we put out to the public, contacting alumni who've left Rotary for one reason or another, and maybe they're ready to reconnect. No one's just reached out to them, right? So for those of us who've ever gone to college, right, they have no qualms about reaching out to you no matter how long ago you graduated and asking you for a donation, right? And sometimes you're like, hadn't thought about the school in a long time, and what do? You open your checkbook and you write them a check. And that's the same thing with Rotary alumni, right? They hadn't thought about Rotary in a long time. Someone sparks that back up in them, someone from our club, and they get involved in Rotary again, and they come back, and they come back through our club. So every one of these committees are extremely important. None is any more important than the other, and I want to make sure that, you know, as we continue as a club, we put some energy and effort behind it. Feel free always, whether you can give a little bit of time or a lot of time, right? Every committee can use help from anyone. The officers of the club generally stay committee free so that we can help fill in for the committees that don't have as many bodies already volunteering for them. But everyone can volunteer for the committees, even if you can only make a couple phone calls, or you can give a little bit of time, or you can do any of those type of things, right? The committees need all the help they can get. And with that being said, we are right at 12:59. I'm going to give everyone a minute back because we were a minute over one evening. Adjourned.